Yeah, we are joined by one of the Nebraska bowlers here and someone that's always got their name on the wall over here under Player of the Year. Jillian Martin won that last year, an All-American as well. Jillian, a senior from Stowe, Ohio, and we thank you for welcoming us here to bowling practice, and thanks for joining us on the show.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having us. Thanks for having me.
All right,
Yeah.
Jillian. Now you are the bowler of the year. You are the USBC Queens champion in 2024, NTCA Rookie of the Year, and you're first team All American 23, 24, and 25. Now, is it your dream for you to make it in 26 too?
Yeah, I would love to be a first team All American in all 4 years. I think that'd be a really cool stat. So consistency.
My first question: how did you get into bowling? Was it something you did as a child, as a family thing? How did you get into it?
Yeah, I grew up in the Midwest, and a lot of people would have their birthday parties at the bowling alley. And so I was like, oh, this is really fun. And so my dad was like, okay, she's having fun. We did an adult junior league together. He'd never bowled. But actually, my great grandfather bowled, and my great uncle bowled as well. And so I was just really enjoying it, really having a good time. And then my great uncle was like, do you really want to learn how to do this? Because I'll teach you. And I was like, little 5-year-old me, I was like, that sounds really fun. Let's do it. And so he taught me, and I really just never looked back.
So it's bowling's in the family.
Yeah, kind of. Like my parents never did it, and I think a lot of people in the bowling world, their parents have always done it, so that's where I'm a little different, but it was still kind of one of those things carried down from my great-grandparents, yeah.
And when did you kind of realize, because maybe not at 5, but when did you realize it was something that maybe I could go to college for this sort of thing?
Yeah, I think when I was probably like 12 or 13, I was like, okay, yeah, they have bowling colleges, that would be cool, whatever. And then I think when I was 14 was really the moment I was like, okay, I could do this, and I think it would be fun to do, so.
Yeah, and then you kind of take that next step, of course, getting an offer from Nebraska. How important was that to you? I mean, Nebraska is quite a special program in the NCAA bowling community.
Yeah, I mean, obviously all the amenities we have here and just the way that Nebraska takes care of their athletes as a whole, it was just really special to have that moment. And I knew a lot of people that had come here in the past. Obviously, there's a lot of success associated with this program. And I remember, too, I came on my visit, and just a few months later, maybe it was before my visit. It would have been the spring before my visit. So I was a junior, and that spring they actually won the national championship. And I was like, wow, it'd be really cool to go there. And so I ended up coming on a visit later the next fall, and I was here, and I was like, yeah, this is where I want to be.
Very cool stuff. And being from Ohio, obviously the Midwest weather wasn't much of a deterrent.
No.
But what was the other schools, I guess you were kind of thinking? Were you thinking about, was there a competitive school close to home, or what were kind of your process of deciding a school?
Yeah, I don't think there was really a school close to home. There's a few good bowling schools over there, but for me, I just felt like I wanted to get away from home, kind of have that independent experience. And so I thought that would be really cool. A few of those schools, I looked at Vanderbilt, Wichita State, McKendree, which is a smaller school, probably haven't heard of, and then North Carolina A&T. Those were 4 here. I think that's 5, maybe, something like that. Yeah.
But those are, I mean, a lot of kind of the who's of who of
Yes.
college or of college bowling.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's very cool. Let's kind of go through your career so far. Like you said, going for a 4-team All-American National Player of the Year. I mean, these are huge honors. But when you got here as a freshman, you kind of got to fight to get your spot, right? To try to get on the travel squad. What was kind of the process of your freshman year, accumulating to college away from home and all that?
Yeah, I think for me, it was just really getting acclimated, getting to know my teammates, forming those connections with the teammates. Thankfully, we have about 2 or 3 months before our season actually starts for me to actually get acclimated to school. And so kind of through that time, I was able to just connect with a lot of different people on the team. And then obviously just the support we have from our coaches, the athletic department in general, I think really allowed me to just kind of step into that spot. And so for me, as far as out on the lane, I just wanted to keep doing what I knew how to do. I'd had some success before college, and so I just wanted to be able to channel that throughout my time here. If I knew I did that, I'd be pretty good. And so things worked out in my favor. Got out there freshman year, was able to competed a lot for the program too, and that was really special for me as a freshman. But yeah, being able to win Rookie of the Year too, that was really cool.
All right. When me and Bock talk about bowling a lot, we talk about how do we adjust to bowling. My thing is speed and power. So I don't know how to throw a spin ball, but I try to use more speed and power. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, that's fair. I think when you think about the physics of it, speed and power is what's going to knock down the pins ultimately. But for us, it's also a lot about entry angle. With the spin we create, there's hook out there on the lane. And so there's actually oil that you can't really tell is out there, but that's what's on the lane. And so that kind of dictates what ball we throw and what part of the lane we throw it. And then from there, try to find the best entry angle into the pins to get them all knocked over.
Now there are, like in baseball, you got different pitches, right? People throwing different throws. Are there different types of bowlers?
Yes, definitely. So you kind of have like your straighter player. I think they typically would call that like a tweener. And then the further you kind of go to the left, the more you typically hook it because you can cover more area on the lane. And then you actually, too, a lot of guys nowadays actually bowl two-handed because it allows them to get more power, not only through speed but through rev rate. And so that's kind of the spin that we put on it. Easier way to think of it.
Wow, yeah, I've never tried two-handed. I'll have to look that up and see how they do that.
Yeah.
Because I'm not imagining it's underneath the legs.
No,
like I'm
it's like
thinking
out to the side, kind of.
Okay.
But yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, that makes a little bit of sense. As we're talking, going through your career, of course, it is a huge honor to be National Player of the Year. How did that kind of come about? Was that something you were looking at going into your junior season? And again, how does that kind of transform throughout the season when it's like, hey, I'm actually there, I can get this done?
Yeah, I think for me, ever since I got here, that was definitely a goal of mine. In freshman year, too, it was actually pretty ironic because I won Rookie of the Year, and I was actually second for the D1 Player of the Year. So I was almost there, and I didn't quite get it, and I thought it would have been really cool to win it that year. Sophomore year, I bowled good. I did what I could, just wasn't quite close enough. And then last year, I knew that it was really coming down to it. Obviously, I had last year. I have this year again, but once again, I think it'd be cool to be a two-time Player of the Year.
Sure.
So always go for that, too, this year. But just kind of going into last year, just really try to keep the head steady, go out there, compete at the best I could. And then as we're about a few tournaments halfway through the season, you can kind of see the stats, see where you're at. I knew I had a pretty good chance. I knew I just needed to stay consistent at the end. And I just really kept it going. But I think for me, within that, it was really focused on the team success because I knew if I could focus on our success as a team, it was going to take care of my own individual accolades. And so really just putting it all out there to try to go out there, be my best at every tournament for them, which on the back end ultimately helped myself.
And I did want to ask you, too, because we had Clip on here, and I didn't quite get the question in. But a lot of people may be unfamiliar with scoring. They understand frames and stuff like that. But how does a team get scored compared to the others?
Yeah, so we have a few different formats. The first format is a Baker format. And so what happens is you have 5 people bowling at once. And so one bowler, well, there's 10 frames in a game. We'll start there. But one bowler will bowl the first and sixth. Another will bowl 2-7. Another will bowl 3-8, then 4-9. 5-10.
Okay.
So we basically do that. And so in that format, you bowl 5 Baker games and then add up the total pinfall, and that'll be compared to another team, and that's a match. The other format we have is called a traditional format, and that's where more typical to what you think of bowling scoring wise. We all bowl an individual game, and we add up all 5 of our individual games together, and then whoever has a higher score wins that match. And then when we get to the national championship, the way it works is we have mega matches. So you actually bowl one of each of those formats. And then if you tie, so one person took the first point in the Baker and one person took the other point in the traditional, then the third is just a 4 of 7. So just it's Baker format, but it's the best 4 of 7, whoever can win 4 Baker games first.
How do you scout another team? Like when you play another team, do you put the best against the best, or do you just try to match them up skill-wise?
It really depends. I think for the most part, it ends up being the best against the best because of the lineup. So when you think of it, obviously the 10th frame in bowling is your biggest opportunity to get the most pins. And so that's typically the frame your best bowler is going to bowl in. And then your second best is going to bowl in the 4th frame and 9th frame because they're going to be able to set up that bowler in the 5th. And like the other thing in bowling is you want to stack strikes on strikes because that's going to just increase your score even more. So the 3rd is probably the next best. And then it actually switches. The first bowler is actually quite important because they bowl after the 5th bowler, so it also allows you to stack more there. But I think typically coaches have the same ideas for lineups as far as that goes, and so you'll definitely see that 5 bowler is almost always the best against the best, and 4th bowler is always second best against second best.
What's your best game? Your best bowling game? What's your best score?
300.
Woo.
And have you done a series? Can you do that? Can you get?
I don't know. don't have a 900 series. I don't honestly know what my high series is because it's been a while since I bowled like a typical 3-game series.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. But I guess this might be kind of a silly question. Do you think everybody on the roster has bowled a 300 at this level?
No,
is that about?
Not all of us. A lot of us have been close, if not there. But yeah, quite a few of us have, though. It's pretty common kind of once you get up there. It also depends, too, on how hard of conditions you typically bowl on. But actually, my sophomore year, so quite a few people on the team know, we shot 2 team 300s that year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Wow,
so that
that's going to be I
Yeah.
can imagine that moment being very
Yeah.
exciting.
It's really cool. It's really stressful when you get to the end of it, and it's like, okay, like you need to do it to be able to get 300, and you know that everyone wants it that bad. But it's really cool. So
Again, we're joined by national player there, Jillian Martin here on Bock in the Blackshirt. We're live at Nebraska bowling practice. Now, I do notice you're the only senior on the roster, so a few kind of questions to go through there. Did you come in as the only kind of freshman in that year?
no, there's another freshman, Catherine's on the roster, but I believe she'd be on there as a redshirt junior.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you feel, and so maybe kind of similar experiences there as far as being here, but do you feel more pressure as opposed to last year's, or, in years past to maybe kind of have senior leadership, if you will?
I think definitely. I think I've kind of tried to be in a leadership role as much as I can, just to help support everyone else on the team. But especially this year, you really get to that moment. And I think for me too, we're 3 years in. Obviously, I haven't won a national championship, and that's something I would really like to do because I think that'd be a really special moment. And so for me, just kind of trying not only to do my part, but to help push other teammates and really help them through whatever they need to hopefully get us there as a team.
Absolutely. Let's talk about how you guys have done this year so far. 3 meets, right, so far. And it's cool. You get to travel all these different places in the country. So a lot of different questions to break in there. But I did want to know, when you visit these kind of host cities or towns, is there enough time to kind of look around, or is it mostly there just for business?
It depends. So there's certain tournaments we'll leave on Wednesday for, and we'll have a little bit more time. Last year we went to Orlando, and we actually got to go to Universal.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and then this year we went to Orlando. We did Disney Springs. So just some fun stuff here and there. Sometimes we'll go see a movie as a team. When we fly in on Thursday, it's usually just more business because we take that extra time to really get homework done. And our tournament days are pretty long days in and of themselves. And then Sunday, obviously, we fly home. So it really just depends on the situation, tournament that we're at. If we have homework, if we don't have homework, what we want to do as a team.
What's the best thing y'all did at Orlando when y'all was there? You say Disney?
We did Disney Springs this year. So not quite Disney. Last year we did Universal, though. That was really cool.
I swam with the Dolphins when I was there.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome.
3 years
Yes.
ago. I got a picture with her. I kissed her and everything.
Oh.
Her name was Natalie. So I had a great time in
Yeah.
Orlando. Big, nice place.
Yes.
I'm not a roller coaster rider, so
Yeah, that's okay.
I didn't ride the Hulk or anything like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So I had to skip most of the good rides.
Yeah, that makes sense. But it's all good. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still cool down there. So
Anything else, Bock?
Yeah, so I just want to go through again. So you guys started in Youngstown, Ohio, right? And did well there, first in the tournament out there.
yes.
Then since you've been, like you said, to Orlando here, you still got stops in Louisiana, Delaware, Arlington, St. Louis, Greensboro. But I wanted to get to the Big Red Invitational here at Hollywood Bowl. Done that in your first couple of years? Is there always a meeting? Here in Lincoln?
Yeah, we did it my freshman year and my junior year. Sophomore
Okay.
year we didn't have it. So usually we try to do it most of the time.
Is that a little bit? Obviously homework a little bit easier maybe to fit in there. What are the benefits of staying home for me?
It's really cool because a lot of our athletic and support staff will come out that don't always really get to see us compete, and like other people that we know from the area. And so that part's really cool because we only get 1 a year to have that opportunity. And just the Lincoln community in general, they're just absolutely so amazing. And so just being able to see that support, other student athletes possibly coming out, and like I said, those people who support us along the way and don't always get to watch. So it's fun to have them there.
And one of my final questions, too, is the move to the Conference USA. Obviously, the best bowling conference in the country, Nebraska, had previously been independent. Does that really change anything for the team or the bowl, kind of the individual bowler going in? Has there been any much change with that?
I don't think there's been much change on our end. It's really just do the same things. At the end of the season, it'll give us another chance to compete at the highest level, and I think that'll be not only important, but just special to us to have that opportunity. And so I think it's going to be really cool moving forward. Obviously, there's some other conference honors that are sprinkled in there that we've never really had the opportunity to have. And so I think that's also just kind of a nice cherry on top. But yeah, really grateful to be a part of that and just that could happen.
My final question, and I saved the best for last. How do you choose your number? I know everybody's got different roster numbers. Is there like a range of number you get to choose from? Do you stay with the same number from year to year, or what kind of goes along with number picking?
I mean, honestly, they ask us when we come in. I don't think anyone's changed year to year, but basically anything unless it's already been taken by someone. For me, I'm number 19. I picked 19. 2019 was the year I really felt like I broke out as far as a bowler, and I feel like it's really opened up for me to have all the opportunities that I've had, and just really probably the most pivotal year in becoming who I am today. And so that's why I picked 19. So, but yeah, stick with it.
Good reason for a number. Any other questions?
No, not really. I'm just watching the girls bowl, man. I bet you I can't beat not one of these girls out here.
No.
I wouldn't even try.
That's all right. Either way, I'm surrounded by greatness. Terrell, you're a great linebacker. Always will be. So at least you got that going on up on your side. And then we got Jillian Martin here, the player of the year last year, going to go for it again this year and going for a national championship, as you said.